Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Awesome, man. Congratulations on pulling out the decision.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, James, very tough competitor. Talk to me about what it was like going up against him and his toughness.
Oh yeah, I knew James was going to be a pretty tough guy. Like, especially with that first match with Cody, he was definitely not happy about that performance. So I knew he was going to really, really bring it to me. So yeah, I mean, and they kind of didn't show a lot of it. He got a little too drunk, we'll say, and he was calling me out pretty hard in the house. But you know, I I just didn't really play into it. I just kind of chalked up to him being drunk, but you know.
Talk to me about that high strike from James, because you knew it was high, you're calling it, and then all of a sudden it spurred a review,
Yeah,
but they still called it clean.
yeah. I mean, when it hit me, I didn't even really feel it on my face. I just felt it in my eye. Like, I mean, I thought like his thumb went in my eye, but by the review of it, it didn't. He just hit me right square, like on that orbital bone, just like right in that sweet spot. I think only one of his fingers just kind of grazed. I think it was like his ring finger. So, but I definitely didn't feel much of that slap. It was just all in my eye, just like felt like a lightning bolt went through my eye. So I really wasn't too worried about that slap at all,
Yeah.
though.
I mean, James has massive hands on
Yeah,
him for a guy. So, it's definitely gonna take up a lot of real estate, on the placement for sure. But
yeah.
going on the offensive side for you, slapping James in that first round, and not putting him down in that first one. How did you feel about your slap? Did you think that you would be able to progressively get better as the match went on?
Yeah, that first slap I wasn't too happy with. I was a little. I feel like I was like a little high, and I kind of like hesitated as I was swinging through. Um, I can't remember what like caused the hesitation, but I remember like hitting it and being like, "Damn, I did not get that as clean as I wanted it to be." Uh, and he ate it pretty good. I could see in his eyes it definitely kind of affected him, but he kind of like stepped back and just kind of took a deep breath and then was like, "Oh, that ain't nothing," and just kind of walked off.
Mhm.
But I knew when I went back up there, I was going to make the adjustment and hit him with a bit cleaner one, we'll say.
Yeah. Getting knocked down on the canvas. Have you ever been in that position before? Could you relate it to anything, or was it all new to you at that point?
No, I've been knocked down on the ground a few times, like in sparring and stuff. So that really wasn't. I don't even totally remember even getting knocked down. I think that's how fast I kind of got back up. I remember walking back to the podium, but I don't actually remember the knockdown of it. I think it's just part of that. I've been there before, so I just kind of just got over, and I'd already planned out like how to get up, like don't get up too fast, and make sure I have myself underneath, as I'm getting up and not stumble to make the ref call it instantly. That was the biggest thing I was kind of worried about going into it. Getting called too quick. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, you're in the house, you see a guy like James Stonier there, you see a guy like Darius the Destroyer come in. Like what's kind of going through your mind? Like, is that exciting you to get to go up against these OGs, or do you
Oh
have
yeah,
any?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted Darius to be honest. When I seen his name up on the board, I was like, I hope that's the match that they make. It wasn't, but I definitely was like hoping that was going to be the one because I actually didn't really know too much of James Stonier. I didn't really see any of his matches going into it. Trujillo showed me during like a training, so because I had no reference of James, so. But Darius, I knew what he was kind of bringing, and I knew that would be a good match to go out there and show what I could really do. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, Brice. Congratulations, of course. Again, man, I mentioned it while you were backstage, man. What were your thoughts as the decision was about to get read out? Where was your head at? Were you confident? Were you unsure? Did you think he won? Where were your head? Where was your head at?
I feel like I had won, just kind of based off of when he got knocked down. He kind of was down there for a little bit longer than me. I kind of just got up and just went back to the podium. It was like, I'm good. He kind of sat down there for a little bit and then kind of, I can't remember if he took a knee or not, but it just seemed like it's taking him a lot longer to recover and stuff. So, and then it took him much longer to get back to the podium. I just walked right back up to it. I was ready. So, I think that probably was what kind of put it in my edge that, I didn't hang out at the podium. I just kind of went right back to it and was like, let's get it, let's take this next one.
Yeah, so you had a rare opportunity, being that you were able to fight somebody who's actually already ranked. So
Yeah.
he's sitting right now as we speak at number 7. So what do you think makes the most logical sense in fairness, given that you beat him for yourself?
I mean, you can give me anyone in the top 5. I feel like I can compete with any of those guys, and I feel like I pretty much handled my business exactly the same as I did James. So, I mean, obviously, Dorian, that's the guy I want. Like, I hope they make that shit happen. Whether it's Abu Dhabi or if it's in Vegas or wherever, you can just make that shit, and I'll be there. So.
Yeah, and then final one, Corey mentioned this a little earlier. I mean, this is quite a significant advantage, and some people don't buy into the whole slap score thing. We've sort of questioned it ourselves.
Yeah.
But there's quite a big differential. Do you, now that this has gone on the way it's gone on, what are your thoughts on the slap score's legitimacy and how much it really plays into the outcome of a fight?
I don't think it does. I mean, I watched James when he hit that thing. I mean, he twisted pretty hard. I mean, he definitely cracked that thing pretty damn hard. But he definitely put a little, like if they were to sit there and like actually judge us as we're swinging on that thing, and if it was in a better setup, because the setup was, I thought, kind of terrible for us. But he probably wouldn't have had as big of a score. And honestly, I probably would have had a little bit better score. You're basically just scoring me just like arm slapping the thing, not really putting any kind of technique or doing anything. So hopefully they let me retest my slap score and do it again, because I feel like it's kind of misleading to anyone that actually does look at those, and then any of my opponents that look at it, they're going to kind of come into it like, oh, he's not going to hit me that hard. But the fact of it is I hit just as hard as James Stonier or any of them, so I mean, you can put that chin on the line and find out, but trust me, I hit hard. Trust me.
Yeah, man, I think we saw it. Let's talk through this fight, man, and just kind of as it goes on, just let us know kind of where your head was at. What were you thinking? As much as you're obviously able to remember.
All right, sounds good.
So obviously you get to strike first.
Yeah.
You chose right on 1, I think.
Yeah. I didn't train that way, but I picked up that when I got on the show from Pono. Yeah, I feel like I went a little too high. I kind of hesitated and ended up a little high.
Did that concern you at all for 2 reasons? 1, you thought maybe it was a foul, or 2, he obviously didn't seem to be bothered by it.
I definitely didn't think it was a foul. I landed pretty flat with my hands, so I wasn't worried about it being a foul. I was definitely up there of it being too high, but I was kind of on the line there. I just didn't feel like I had as much power as I needed on it, and then the placement it bugged me. So I just was like, well, fuck, on to the next one. Let's take this hit from him, So I didn't really pay much mind. I was like, I got 2 more rounds with him, so I'll get a good one on him. So.
All right, now we see obviously Stonier is coming back.
Also, his windup kind of threw me off a hair too.
What about it?
I didn't really. When he kind of brings his hand, when he kind of turns, you don't really see where he's coming from exactly. So when he did hit me with that one, I thought he kind of came up really high, but he didn't. I just, it ate me pretty good on that one, for sure. That was probably like his best slap of the match right there. That slap.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, man, I think you recovered well. There's a provision in the rules that talks about flash knockdowns not being really scored as knockdowns. So if you get up instantly, they sort of disregard it as a knockdown, which I think is interesting. You probably, I mean, I'm no judge, but you probably stood down a second or two too long for that. But
Yeah.
still, you did get up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I just took like a good breath when I was sitting down, and then just got up to one knee, took a breath, got up, feeling pretty fine.
You did
That
right
one I
on one
definitely got a
again.
lot more on him.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have brung it up just a hair, but it's also like the way I'm like hitting him and then pushing through. It causes my hand to like hit him and then like come back and then like kind of go underneath their face. It's almost like when damn, I'm spacing on his name. It's that karate chop one.
Oh, Darren Godfrey.
Yeah, Godfrey. Same thing. It's like his hand hits flat, but then him trying to drive through, it causes your hand to kind of turn. So it looks like I fouled him or something, but I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job keeping your feet down. You didn't even do the minor heel lifting, excuse me. Which I always commend guys on because I know how difficult it is to distribute your energy and your power that much, especially you big guys.
Yeah, I mean, I worked super hard on that. Anytime I was practicing and I lift up my heel, I made it a point to address it. And basically, before I moved on in the session, I would do like, say, like 5 different slaps, keeping my feet down. Like, just really drilling that because I knew like I have a lot of power, so I knew like if I had dropped anybody and my foot came up, they're gonna call it. Like, so I just really worked on it. Yeah, that one that's the one he got me in the eye a little bit.
Yeah, your reaction was more like a sting versus like a hurt.
Yeah,
You just kind of
yeah,
we've
the
seen
pain
that
of
from
the
like Jill
slap.
Scott. Anytime guys get hit in the eye, they always don't have a good reaction to it.
Yeah, like the actual like hit on me wasn't that bad. It was just that stinging through the eye. It was a little rough, but
Yeah, so now you're on this third one. So obviously, I think round 1 you lost, round 2 you won. So this is what it comes down to.
yeah, that one I got a little too high too. It's just I couldn't see well enough to like that stinging in my eye was still going on. I was just trying to push through it.
Yeah, so in the beginning he absorbs your strike. It looks like it does something to him, but then he just recovers without really moving, which
Yeah,
surprised me. But
yeah,
that's the
James is
reason
real
why.
good about like standing firm and just trying to breathe and not having much of a reaction. Like I guarantee every one of those he would be like, "Damn, that shit hurt." You know.
Now, the last thing I'll ask about the fight specifically, he was hitting you left. Did that matter at all? Obviously,
A little bit.
you had hit before that, but was that obviously that's an awkward. Most people don't expect to get hit on their left side.
Yeah, I'd say it did a little bit
Well,
because
it'd be
I
your
kind
left
of
side, but you know what I mean.
I didn't realize he was lefty at first. And then, like, when I watched his back, I was like, oh, shit, he is left-handed. So as soon as I got up there, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to kind of adjust to that because I didn't really practice too much getting hit, like, on the left on the defense of things. But, moving forward, I'll definitely put that in there.
Yeah, so I think it just came down to a matter of what the judges thought was a reaction to the slap versus some of the attributes of the slap itself, which in your case was kind of hitting you in this area, maybe the eye even going over or something, the finger going over the eye. So, it seemed like most people agree, but again, going into round 3, that was the round that you needed, and depending on what the judges saw from that, I think what really is what made the win yours. But you got a unanimous decision, so I think that's big.
Yeah, a win's a win, and I think I pulled it through just on our knockdowns and just taking the overall of it. I think I definitely squeezed it out.
Awesome, Brice. Great hearing from you. I know we're going to see you up there again. Darius the Destroyer would be a phenomenal match. Hopefully we see you over there in Abu Dhabi. If not, back in Vegas, we know December 10th is going down. Power Slap
Yeah.
keeps on rolling. We got 3 events right now.
They
I'm
call
sure
me,
we'll
I'm
see.
there, so it don't matter.
You just got to jump in the car and roll down. You could be there in
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome, buddy. Take care, man. Appreciate you joining us. You're welcome anytime. All
man.
right.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Much love.
Appreciate you.
Cheers, brother.